Greetings YouTube, it's Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuffin' Things once again. We're doing an MRE review today, a 2004 vintage Warnick-packed military MRE, menu number 18. Menu number 18 contains Cajun rice, beans and sausage, chocolate sports bar, cheese spread, crackers, cheddar cheese pretzels, beverage base powder, hot sauce, accessory packet A, an MRE spoon, and a flameless ration heater. Accessory packet A contains tea with sweetener and lemon, coffee, sugar, creamer, salt, chewing gum, matches, MRE toilet paper, and a hand cleaner. And here we have the sealed MRE pack itself. Again, this is a 2004 vintage, packed by Warnick Company, McAllen, Texas. Menu number 18, Cajun rice, beans, and sausage. Sounds like it should be pretty good. Let's get it open and find out. This is another peelable seal bag, but if it doesn't peel right off the bat, and I, who have no fingernails, have a problem with getting these to peel. Not only do I have no fingernails, I have no patience with those. So let's use alternative B. Just that simple. There's the contents, and of course we have a nice empty bag that can be used for trash or hauling kindling or tinder, just about anything around the campsite. There's one thing the Warnick Company envelopes do not have on them on the outside, and that is any indication of when they were packed. Now again, I know this is a 2004 vintage package because I bought them in 2005, so there's no way that they could be any more recent than 2005, and all of them that I've run into so far have featured a 2004 packing date. So here we have chocolate sports bar. That sounds good. I don't know if it has a secondary wrapper on it or not. Packing date is 259th day of 2004. Cheddar cheese pretzels. I think we're going to find that these are essentially combos with the pretzel coating and cheese stuffing in the middle. They're usually quite good. Here's accessory packet A. We can see inside already we have a liquid Tabasco sauce packet. That's nice. Chewing gum, matches, Chaser's Choice instant coffee. There's creamer, salt in there, sugar, and good old MRE toilet paper. And the packing date on this accessory packet A is 321st day of 2004. Don't you see that code right there? Next up we have cheese spread. We can determine the packing date on that. That'll be nice. A lot of times it's embossed, and it is in this case as well. 274th day of 2004. This is very solid. If I try to eat it on crackers, I'm going to be kneading it quite a bit before we try squeezing it out of there. Be interesting to see whether this cheese comes out yellow or brown or some shade of orange. Orange beverage base powder. Packed on 274th day of 2004. Crackers. Packed on 302nd day of 2004. Spoon. No packing date. Flameless ration heater. Packed on 309th day of 2004. And here's a Cajun-style rice with beans entree. And the end of the box says 286th day of 2004. You can see it there maybe. Alright, let's spread this out and see what it looks like. Looking pretty good. Once again, we're going to use my double wall Peak MSR stainless steel hot cold beverage cup. We'll be making the iced tea beverage base, or the orange beverage base rather, in that today with some cold water. Alright, let's get that mixed up. We have our orange beverage base powder. Kind of a light orange color there. And it says 12 ounces of water in this one. So, we have some cold water. 12 ounces is a little over half of this, because this is a 16-ounce bottle. That pretty much fills up that cup, which is nice. Usually it's just a little bit in the bottom. Give that a stir. Now these orange beverage powders make a pretty nice orange drink, similar to old-fashioned Tang. That was heavily advertised during the early days of the space program. So, there's nothing inside the accessory packet that I'm going to use today, so I believe I'll leave that sealed up and just set that off to the side. And let's see what this chocolate sports bar is all about. Right, it was double packed, and I tore the inner packing just now. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby for a 13-year-old sports bar. Now it looks like there's nuts in there, so we'll give it a little smell. It smells very dark chocolatey. And the cheddar cheese pretzels, I think they're going to be essentially combos. Yes, they are. We've had those before. Now these are the government versions, so they are a little bit sparse on the cheese filling compared to civilian combos. Should be pretty good though. So, we'll break out the crackers here. Hopefully we won't break them breaking them out. Usually can't. Ooh, they came out in one piece, each of them. How nice is that? That's unusual for those not to break. Yeah, as unusual it is, I'm going to break them anyway. Ooh, there they go. Very delicate. They would never, ever, ever break along the score lines. Try as we might, not going to happen. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to inspect the outer envelope of the retort pouch here with the Cajun rice with beans and beef sausage. The last time I heated one of these up, I boiled it in hot water on the stove, and the retort pouch separated. The outer foil portion of it separated from the inner plastic liner, and it was somewhat suspect. I didn't know if it happened before or after boiling. I think we will just use the FRH today and see how hot it makes that meal. says tear here, but we can't tear it there, so we're going to cut it. Because when the tear things don't work, I'm pretty sure the knife works just fine. Okay, and here's the heater portion. So I'm going to insert the entree, the torque pouch in there. Shake them down a little bit. Make sure this is down in there. So once we get confirmation that the ration heater is working, I'm going to lean it up against something and go on to other things while it cooks. Now there's the do not overfill line. Takes about an ounce of water usually. And about there. This is cold water. Before that gets going too far. Already, ooh, it's getting very hot. I'm going to slide it into the original box and lean that up against a rock or something. I'm going to give this cheese a good minute of kneading and we'll get back to that in just a minute. Okay, so we gave that about a minute's worth of kneading there. I'm going to cut a notch in the corner so I can have a more or less controllable outlet for the cheese. Smells like cheese. It's not the jalapeno kind. Let's see what color it comes out as. Oh, look at that. Almost looks cheesy. Pretty yellow. And we'll give that a little taste. It's kind of a medium sharpness there with that cheese, supposed to be cheddar. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's break this chocolate bar in half. See what the nuts are like in there. Smells pretty good inside. It actually has a very strong chocolate smell. A lot like chocolate fudge. There are nuts in it, but they taste okay. Some reviewers have run into a significant amount of rancidity in dessert bars and other contents where nuts are included in the recipe. It smells just fine, it tastes fine. That has a consistency of kind of like a power bar, sort of chewy. A little bit crunchy from the nuts inside. Not getting any tingling or any other indication of rancidity, and it doesn't smell bad. So I think this is edible. Probably going to go ahead and finish it. Let's try one of the cheese pretzels. And they did indeed skimp on the cheese, and it doesn't even go all the way through, it looks like. Okay, there you can see some cheese in the middle of that one. Not a lot of salt on the outside of these. There's some. A few big salt crystals on that one. But that's pretty standard for a pretzel. And I know that these combos also come in a cracker style that's full of cheese. And it's actually more like a cracker, less like a pretzel, and doesn't have any crystalline salt on the outside of the pieces. That orange beverage is looking pretty clear now, so it must be dissolved. We'll give it a try here. Bottoms up. That's not as much like tang as I thought it would be. It's actually more like orange Kool-Aid. Not bad. Let's have another little bit of cheese on a cracker. So the FRH is doing its magic. So another bite of this. This is good. And I think just to show what's inside the accessory pack, I'll go ahead and open it. There's a Tabasco sauce. I often reassign these ingredients into some of my camping survival packs. So there's some coffee, creamer, Domino sugar, Tabasco sauce, chewing gum, salt packet, white tip matches, and our favorite friend, the Lighthouse MRE toilet tissue, and a moist towelette. I'm taking another bite of the chocolate bar. There's nuts all the way through that. It has a rather distinct aftertaste, kind of bitter. I suspect there's quite a bit of dark chocolate in there. Not overly sweet by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually pretty good. Would make a nice trail bar, a trail snack. So here we have the Coleman camp soap packet with originally 50 sheets of soap in there, or leaflets. I like to put one of those in these packs of toilet tissue and stash them away in my go bags and so on. So what I'm going to do is make a label. Soap leaflet under wrapper. Print that out. And there's what we get. I don't know if you can read that or not. But it fits exactly on the outside wrapper of the toilet tissue. So I'll put it on there. And we'll take one of the soap leaves. That's just one. So what I do is fold them lengthwise in half and slide that in there. I like it to go under the paper though, and not between the sheets of toilet tissue. There we go. So that's ready for my camping pack now. Soap leaflet under wrapper. There is one under there. I just put it there. So much for that. We're still waiting for the Cajun rice and beans and sausage to finish warming up. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of cheese spread onto this pretzel for a little extra added cheese kick to it. Not bad. Some more on a cracker. The cheese tastes fine. It tastes aged, but it probably should. It's yellow rather than brown, so I don't feel too bad about eating it. It's nice and creamy and not lumpy. It doesn't taste like Velveeta or anything like that. It tastes actually like cheese that you might melt and dip things in. The orange beverage is completely clear now. And again, it tastes a lot like Kool-Aid. Has a mildly acidic, citrusy flavor. Okay, this has been probably 15 minutes now, maybe a little bit more. Still very hot. My goodness. I just let that sit that way for a little while. Have another cheese pretzel. Okay, let's get that retort pouch out and open it up. Squeeze it around. Oh, it's very hot. Ow, ow, ow. Very hot. So the ration heater did its job well. I'll squeeze that down below the tear mark so I can open it without getting a lot of the product all over the place. There it is. That doesn't look too bad, really. Let's try that little spoonful. It's quite spicy, not exactly hot, but there is a little bit of heat in there. And the rice is very soft, as you might imagine. Been in that package for 13 years. There are chunks of, I guess this is supposed to be beef sausage. Get a couple of those on there. Yummy. The beef is very tender, almost melts in your mouth. The rice, of course, is very soft. There's also, looks like red peppers in there, maybe even some green ones. Rice. And I thought I saw a bean or two in there, but it might not have been. There's a definite spicy aftertaste to that. The heat kind of gets going in the back of your throat after you swallow. That's not bad. Not nearly as hot as Tabasco or anything like that. This tastes fairly good, especially for something as old as it is. If I were having to rely on this in the field, in a camp, survival situation, bug out situation, I don't think I'd have any problem eating this whatsoever. So to kind of summarize things, we had this chocolate fudgy nut bar. Very good, very chocolatey, not too sweet, fairly crunchy. Or I attribute that to the nuts that are inside. The cheese spread was edible. Crackers smell a little bit stale, but they don't smell rancid. So those are edible. The cheese-filled pretzels, otherwise known as combos, are just fine. They're a little bit skimpy on the cheese, but what would you expect for a government contract? flameless ration heater worked fine. Orange beverage base powder mixed up well, dissolved completely and tastes like Kool-Aid. And the main entree, Cajun-style rice with beef sausage. Pretty good. I wouldn't turn it down if somebody offered it to me, whether I was starving or not. It's just not bad. Now once again, this has been Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things reviewing a 2004 vintage MRE, military style by the Warnick Company. Menu number 18, Cajun rice, beans and sausage. I'll give it a thumbs up. It tastes fine. Hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to click thumbs up, like and subscribe if you want to see more MRE reviews or reviews of other outdoor and camping style equipment and gear and food. And we'll see you next time. Until then, take care, stay safe, adios.